Well, welcome to another edition of Knowledge is Power Podcast Live. And I'm your host, Tony Renfro. Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining us. And I just want to thank my audience for the support that you give it this show. We have one of the largest viewership on in this area on Facebook, and we're on twice a week on Sundays at 8 and Tuesdays at I'm sorry, Sundays at 7:30 and but tonight we're on a little early at 7 o'clock. And on Tuesday we're here on at 8 o'clock. So join us then when we go live, and when we go live, we go live. I have so many good guests that's going to be joining us for this month and next month. And hopefully to have Congressman Sheila Lee Jackson that's going to be joining us in the first week of September. So please, 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 people, stay in touch with Knowledge is Power Podcast Live. And let me just subscribe to you right now. Knowledge is Power is a platform right here or live on Facebook and YouTube live. This is a platform that you to share information um, um, of important information by just educating the Southeast Texas African American communities with valuable information on health, education, local politics, business, and business finances. And I had some notes here. Where are my notes? Okay, there we go. All right. And also you can subscribe, hit the red button on YouTube and subscribe to us, and click it, and you can find me and Knowledge is Power podcast page on Facebook. That's right. We're on Facebook. I have a Power and Knowledge Facebook page. Give you a lot of history on your health, how to take care of your health. We educate you with history, Black history, things that you didn't learn in school, things you didn't know about business, how to establish wealth as a Black Wealth page. So join us on that page on Facebook. That the page is Knowledge is Power Podcast Live. So with that said, my guest tonight is Geary Senigaur. So the Geary Senigaur is going to be the candidate for mayor of Beaumont, Texas. He's a candidate for mayor of Beaumont, Texas in the May 2021 election coming up. And before I get with Geary, I want to tell you folks that we do have an election on November 2020, and we must continue to push the envelopes, and we need to vote. And we've got a plan on this time, since the president is trying to suppress us on voting. We've got a plan for that. We're gonna vote early and hard and heavy. And so make sure you all come on next Sunday. But I have my guest next Sunday is going to be candidates from Jefferson County, who's running in the election in November. And I think that's Joe Desautel, House Representative, Javon Pollard, County Constable, Zena Stevens with the Sheriff Department, Jefferson County Sheriff Department, and Jeff is coming on too. What is Jeff's last name? I can't think. Wait. We're all going to be here next Sunday at 7. I'm gonna get that name before I get off this podcast. So again, people, thank you again for joining us on Knowledge Power on Facebook Live, and as some of my guests, as always, with us, Terry, Roy. Good evening, sir, my brother. How are you? And Marcel, how you, Marcel? Good evening. Thank you for watching. And also, let's go here because I made something here, so we'll know. Come next Tuesday. Remember, next Tuesday, we've got another special guest. The current mayor of Beaumont, Texas, Becky Ames, will be with us on next Tuesday. This Tuesday coming at 7:30. I'm gonna try to move that show up.
I think Ames will be on Tuesday.
So I've got my head here to here. I got my head here to here. The mayor candidate.
Yes, sir.
Geary Senigaur. When growing up, Gary, I used to call you another name. I used to call you Dwight. I come back.
Oh man, don't tell everybody that.
Way back, all I knew was Dwight. Oh, Dwight, big head Dwight.
That's
Anyway,
family right there. That's
uh,
right.
I remember that. I kept saying it was another name we used to call him, and I couldn't think of what it was. They all come to me at one time. But anyway, it is good to have you, Gary, to join
Mhm.
us. I lost some of my notes here. I don't know where did I just threw it away? Yeah, I did. But anyway, it's so good to have you, Gary, and I wish you well uh, in the election and your campaign. I pray for you that you have a great campaign and you do well. I was just mentioning to you that I'm gonna have all the candidates that's running in the mayor election.
That
Uh,
that's what I'm telling my wife. That's great. That is great. Like that's great. That's
yeah,
great.
yeah. I'm gonna have all. I'm gonna invite all the mayors candidates that's planning on coming on, planning running now. Again, the current mayor, she's just the mayor. She's not announced that she's going to be mayor or running for mayor. But we just like to visit with her, and that's just. I just want to go over some things and
No,
see.
that's
But
respect. That's
yeah,
respect. She's
respect.
our
She
current
earned,
mayor. That's
she
right.
earned it. Yes, she earned the respect. But
That's
anyway,
right.
uh, and what I just want to ask the question. I'm sure we got a lot of viewers. If you like to ask questions or ask the candidate Senigaur, if he any questions, just come in the comment box. And let's please share this page with everybody, your friends, family, and loved ones, or whoever that may be interested. Share this page on Facebook. Share it. Okay, Gary, you and I ran a campaign last election, and we came short. Uh,
Hmm.
and but it was a great run. It was a great run. But so one of my questions I want to ask you is, what you know, I what made you decide to run again?
Okay. Good question. First, I want to say honor and praise to God. I want to say give a shout out to all of my religious sects out there, all of the Presbyterians, all of the Methodists, all of the Sanctified, Kojic, Catholics, Muslims, Hindu, everybody that's in Beaumont, and I just want to say, all praise to God, to my God, your God, whatever you believe in, and give him the glory and the praise first, first and most importantly. And also, uh, thoughts and prayers to the Officer Powers family. Thoughts and prayers to Antonio Keon Wilson's family, and thoughts and prayers to everybody that lost a loved one. Can you see me? Lost a loved one tragically in the recent weeks. So, and to answer your question, you got that. We have to do that. I have to do that first. Pay homage to the people. I'm
No
running for
problem.
mayor. I'm gonna be mayor of Beaumont, of all people. So, what made me want to run again is the fact that I'm serious. This is not a game to me. This is not about clout chasing. This is not about a title. This is not about politics. This is I believe this is my purpose. I really strongly feel that this is my purpose. This is why I was created. This is why I'm still here in Beaumont. And I came so close last time. And I just believe that it's everything that I was saying last year and the years prior to that, we're seeing it now. And we have to push. We have to push, and keep going. So that just, I'm not bitter from the defeat last year. I just felt like it was a lesson learned. A lot of people say we didn't take L's last year. We took lessons. Lessons learned. So and I just feel like I'm not feel like it. I know I'm the candidate. I know I'm the person to fill that seat.
Well, that's a good answer there. And you worked hard in that last campaign, and you're working hard, and you always have worked hard, because were the founder of the Stop the Violence. So when you say Stop the Violence, I want the audience and the viewership to know that Stop the Violence wasn't an active program. It was an activist program. It was a program to 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 uh, to show that we as black and we want to stop the violence in our area, in our homes, in our neighborhoods, and in our city. And you was a force behind that. And I want them to understand that you were just doing your part.
That's right. See, when we first started, I'm gonna go down and give you the lowdown. Everybody that really don't know me, I'm gonna go ahead and explain it. That's why I like these interviews, because a lot of people, you know, when you don't know something, you kind of perceive what you think, and a lot of times it's wrong. So I love these interviews because it actually shows who my character, shows who I really am. And I always tell people, my my Facebook page is public, and I put a lot of things on there according to my work in the community. So all you have to do is take the time to go down and scroll and look. Stop the Violence, Dad's on Deck, the mayor page. You can go. It's public, so you can look. But when we did that Stop the Violence, prior to that, I'm a black male. I'm a black man of African descent, unapologetic, and I think that people should stand up and love your heritage, love your culture, and that's me. I can't help it. I was born this way. I was born black, an African descent. So what we did was I got tired of seeing uh, us not knowing who we are, not knowing our knowledge, not knowing our culture, not knowing anything about our history, not knowing why we act the way we act. So I started holding meetings every week. It was 4 years ago. We did it for 2 years, 2.5 years, every Thursday. Brother LaShawn Proctor's funeral home, in the sanctuary. We were every Thursday and they start building. And the purpose of that was to galvanize all of the organizations in Beaumont. See, the thing about us and Beaumont period, we're individualized. When you're individualized, you really don't have any power. You really don't have, when I say power, I mean power to love, power to resolve, power to uplift, power to edify, power to actually do the things that you need to do for yourselves instead of begging for solutions. So I was trying to get all of those organizations under one umbrella. You keep your own organization name, you rep your colors, you rep where you are, but you come under one umbrella for the common goal of the community. We did that. We did that. We did that. And some people start labeling me a racist. And if you look up the definition of racist, that's impossible. Because I wasn't influencing any group of people. I was just trying to help my people, my community where I was from. Stop the bleeding. Nurses, if you have a severe laceration, the first thing they can, before they get to start stitching and suturing and stitching you up, putting staples in you, you have to stop the bleeding first. So my thing was I had to stop this bleeding, and that's called root cause analysis, conflict resolution, going to the root of the problem and addressing it. So I said, okay, we have to start knowing. You know better, you do better. So we did that, and they started labeling me racist because I would call out racism. So now, then they start saying, well, what are you going to do about black on black crime, which is another rhetoric form terminology actually to stimulate the psyche of saying something other different things. So what I start doing is attacking the violence that was committed amongst ourselves in our own community. And God gave me a vision. Go on the corners and show them what they're facing. And I asked my friend again to let me borrow a casket. And I stood on the corners by myself with a casket. And as a conversation piece, as an element of shock, element of surprise, you riding down the street and you see a casket, that kind of startles you. And I did that in the areas where the crime was high, in the areas where gunplay was prevalent, in the areas where gang violence was prevalent, drug trafficking was prevalent, and just to let them know this is your final stop, death. This is what you're playing with. So I'm gonna put it in your face and let you see what it looks like, what you're playing with. Because after that, it's over. So I started doing that, and God gave me a vision of signs, because signs, words are spirits. When you see words, you do two things: you eternalize them or you verbalize. Either you say it in your head, or you verbally speak it. Either way you do both of those, it's power, because if you thinking it internally, the Bible says, as a man think it, so is he. So if you see that stop the violence and you're thinking it, you're telling your subconscious, your spirit man, to stop the violence. If you verbalize it, you're speaking it. So in the beginning was the word, and the word was God, and it became flesh. So because he spoke it. So then when you speak that stop the violence, it's actually speaking it into the atmosphere. And that was my vision. And it was, and I said we should have these all over Beaumont, all over wherever you see them. And it got popular. People start going, and in the beginning, people was like, that's stupid. What's standing on the corner with a sign gonna do? And my rebuttal to them was a sign. They said, stand on the corner with a sign, that's not gonna help. I'm like, well, a stop sign won't help either unless you obey it. So that was my thing with that. Like, it's up to you. It's not up to just the sign or the casket. I'm just trying to give people the confidence to come together as a community to stand against the violence. Then from that is a conversation piece. So many people stopped by. I was like, hey, man, I like that. It gave them a courage and a confidence to come stand on the side of me. Then from there, other kids will come up. Now we have a conversation going. Now we're networking. Now we're sharing resources. Now we're giving people contact information, numbers being exchanged. And now you're actually developing a team because of one stance. Somebody stood up, somebody opened the door, somebody made a platform, and that's all I'm about. And that's how it started.
Well, Gary, you've done a good job with that, and found, and also you have a Facebook page as well. It's Stop the Violence. Am I correct?
That's right.
And
3,400 members.
right. So, people, you get a chance, you go to the Stop the Violence group page, Stop the Violence on Facebook.
Mhm.
Gary, I'm like other. I'm like everybody else in the city, and maybe a little different because I'm no. I look into details. I look in the background. I look in what the process that you can take on achieving your goals. And man, I'm gonna tell you, I'm proud of you. And one thing I want to ask you, this question is, what ma- what I'm gonna ask two questions. What made you decide to run again? And I want to hear your platform. I want to know what you're all about. What's your platform for the city of Beaumont if you become mayor of Beaumont?
Okay, what made me run again because I see that nothing has changed, and I know that my platform was actually the remedy, the cure for Beaumont, and I have to do it. I can't rest at night. I can't rest. I wanted to just say, hey, they got it, whatever. But God won't let me rest, until I actually do what I'm called to do. Uh, Three things. The three most important things, aspects to a successful city is good schools, safe neighborhoods, operational infrastructure. Good schools, safe neighborhoods, operational infrastructure. From those three topics, you'd have a thriving city. Good schools, and people, I saw on one post, I asked, I think it was on Kevin Steele's thing. I said that, and the guy was like, "Oh, well, he should be running for school board, not mayor." Which is, and I answered that, and I said, okay, well, if most thriving cities have powerhouse schools, most thriving cities, that's the number. I think BISD was uh, the third highest employer in Beaumont. I think it's Lamar, Exxon, BISD. People don't do their homework. They don't do their research. So if we don't have any schools, where that's the future. Those are prospects for jobs. That's the assets to our community. If you have a thriving school, you get more money. You have you get more people being able to actually keep the city moving, keep the city growing. The Bible says children are an inheritance from the Lord. So we have to actually invest in the children, invest in the schools. That's the future. Safe neighborhoods. Safe neighborhoods is exactly what it says. Safe neighborhoods. Your citizens don't feel safe, what are they gonna do? Uproot and leave. That's tax. That's tax revenue. That's leaving. That's taxes. That's leaving. That's money that's leaving the city. So that you need money to run the city. You need money to grow the city. That's leaving and going, taking their hard-earned income somewhere else and developing that city. Safe neighborhoods. Case in point, stop the violence. That's on deck. That would be me. Before there was a not in my city, there was a stop the violence. Before anything else, there was a stop the violence. So that's the safe city, operational infrastructure. And also with safe cities, you would make investors feel that much safer and pleasant and confident in coming invest in your city. If your city is the third most dangerous city in the state of Texas, if you were an investor, would you want to come there and invest $1 million? $1 million in there. Then on top of that, knowing you have to hire employees. So if the school systems is not corrupt, but if they're not if they're not up to par, you won't have any clients. You won't have any employees. You won't have anybody to trust to work your business, to run your business. So that's the schools. It's imperative to have good schools. That's why it's imperative to have safe neighborhoods. Number 3, operational infrastructure, as well as, and we all know, I don't even have to go into depth with that. Brown water, flooding, bumpy roads, streets, and drainage. And what I learned in this last election, I don't reveal everything because they have such thing called parrot syndrome. A lot of things that I shared and said during the campaign, because we deal with a lot of politicians, they took my rhetoric and ran with it and said it to tickle the ears of their voters to get them elected. And we still haven't seen those things come to fruition. But just know that a person is as smart as the people that he surrounds himself with. I have several people with 30+ years experience in waterworks, public services, public works, and I know, we have an excellent plan. I will reveal it right toward the end during the forums and whatnot, because I'm just waiting to see what other people have to say, because I know my plan. It's actually on my, I go ahead and say it, it's actually on my mayor page from last year. I put it on there and then I saw it echoed. But those 3 things: good schools, safe neighborhoods, operational infrastructure. Because those 3 things, if you do that, then you're going to have a thriving city. You're going to have more investors come and invest in your city. And then you're going to have a person, if we own a business, I don't want to really put a business where it's drainage. I know it floods out here. I know it rains. Y'all deal with hurricanes out here. So I want to know those 3 things before I even invest my money. So those are one of the 3 main topics that's going to be my platform.
Well, Gary, what make you think that you can make those things happen and the previous mayor and councilman has not?
Because I'm fresh, and for the simple fact that when you're doing something, that's why they call them incumbents. Somebody that's been there for a long time. They've become complacent. They're stale. They've lost their fire, for actually what they're supposed to be doing. And it hasn't been done. It's been 12 years and it's gotten worse. Even the city manager, after he's gotten his raise, his $3,000 raise, what has gotten better? It's, a tree by the fruit that it bears, man. I'm not judging. I'm talking facts. What has gotten better? It's gotten worse. So I can't do a worse, a worse job than they're doing, because I'm actually bringing solutions. I'm telling you solutions. I'm telling you things that they haven't even presented. These things haven't even been presented with them having all of the experience and knowledge that they're supposed to have. And it's been 12 years. And after the $3,000 raise, they're not even saying the same rhetoric that I'm presenting. So it's just, I don't want to say names, but is it incompetence or is it ignorance or is it the lack of concern? What is it? Because if you're supposed to have all this knowledge and this experience, telling the citizens brown water is inevitable, flooding is inevitable, crime is not a problem. I don't agree with that, because I've seen my work. I've seen my work ethic work on the small scale, on the unofficial scale that I'm on. I've seen it work. I've seen it catch fire, and I've seen the citizens rally behind it, and it actually worked. Just think what it'll do when I have the title and the position and the authority of mayor.
Well, we all know that by the way, my co-host has just joined us, Miss Donna Sherwood.
How you doing, LaDonna?
Well, now she's on, but she muted. Did I mute her? Just a second. No, she's mute. Your mic is mute.
Okay, you guys know sometimes these phones and these different things, they give you a bunch of problems. But anyway, I'm here with you guys. I'm super excited. So Gary, tell us What do you think is really gonna take to get the Beaumont mayor on board with things that are gonna matter for our community, that's gonna make a difference? Because sometimes I think that we think that the mayor position is purely symbolic, and it's not really actually elevated as far as what's actually happening. We want to know, are you just the mayor in symbolism, or is the mayor able to exact some change?
The mayor is actually supposed to be the figurehead of the city. The mayor is supposed to be the leader of the city, first in command. And if you all know, like I know, attitude reflects leadership. The arm flows from the head. So if the head is not right, the body won't follow. So as far as with that, if the mayor is doing what he's supposed to do, the body will follow. And there's no excuses. Our current mayor, I respect the position, but there's no excuse for not to show concern and not to be in the trenches, where your people are crying, when your people are hurting, your people are dying, literally dying, and you're not in the trenches with them. I can't answer for it, but I just don't understand the non-appearances from her, the lack of concern, but I know I can't say I know what I can do because I know what I've been doing. I sincerely care about people. I sincerely care about this city, and this is not a facade. This is not fake. This is not. I'm not clout chasing. I'm not doing any of that. I sincerely care because, and the reason behind the care is because I see what the city should be. I see what it can be. I see what it's supposed to be. And that concern pushes me to keep going until it actually gets to be where it needs to be. It's like a father, when you see your kid and you know its potential, that's your child. God gives you the vision to see what your child, the gifts and the talents that's in that child. And what you have to do as a good father is pull those gifts out, nurture those gifts, groom that gift until it actually blooms into what it's supposed to be.
And I think that's perfect. And my next question would be, is a father who agrees with the child or views the objective of blooming and different things of that nature, do you think that Beaumont is ready to accept the change and the growth and the opportunity to be something different? Or do you think that we're stagnated and we're stuck in that particular position and we can't get out of that, where we've been in previous past?
No, I think it's prime. It's prime time. It's right. It's ready. It's ready for that. It's ready for that change. That stagnate. It needs that change. It needs that dam to open up. So the flood waters can just come on in. It's a prime time for it. Perfect time. Why not now? I just think I think it's time. I think that's why it's so stagnant. I think that's why they're kicking and screaming. Because what does a child do when you don't pay attention to it? He kicks and screams. He cuts up. He acts out. He's disobedient. He's rebellious. That's all cries for attention. And once you pay attention to it, you actually can groom it, nurture it, grow it.
Hey, Gary, this race, this coming May 2021 race in the mayor race, it's going to be a little different this time.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be real different this time. So now you've got so far there's 3 of you guys now that has announced your candidate for election for mayor. That is the W. Pave and
Roy West
and no, not you, sweetie. That's my phone answering me. Roy West and yourself. And so that's going to be a little different. I mean, it's going to be a different race here. And tell me what probably is, how you feel. You feel good about it? Because you got...
I feel
good. Sometimes we say, hey, well, I ran last time, but I feel good this time. I think this is my time. Sometimes you've got to know when it's your time.
That's it.
And
And I think it's my time. Like I feel it. You see me moving. I feel good, man. I feel real good about this,
yeah.
because I'm looking at, and it's no slight, it's no disrespect to anybody, but I've been working. I've been working. I've
Mhm.
been showing. And I've listened to the rhetoric. I listen to what people say. I listen to the experienced ones. I listen to their words, and they don't have it. They don't have it. They don't have what it takes. Look at compare my own experience with the experience of our current mayor.
Well, Oprah says that luck is when preparation meets
That's right.
opportunity. So as long as you're prepared and the opportunity presents itself, then you, sir, are lucky, and we're here for you
Yes,
today.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Because you look at 12 years, we're the third most dangerous city in the state of Texas. She made us, she was the donkey of the day, national news. I mean, and look at our infrastructure. Look at our crime. Look at our downtown. Look at our business and look at our city. Okay, now let's take W.L. Pate that's running. He sat on the side of her. I forget, I don't know the exact amount of years that he's been on council. Has he made a difference? And people are telling me, and I'm glad you asked that because I've been thinking. I'm a thinker. I listen to people. People tell me that being a councilman is more powerful than being a mayor. Okay, W.L. Pate is a councilman. So what power has he exemplified in his position? I'm going to leave that right there so people can actually dwell on that. Number three, Mr. Roy West, no disrespect. What were you doing prior to this? We've been having problems for 12 years. So that's my stance when people are coming just willy-nilly want to come and want to decide to run. What have you been doing? And why weren't you doing it then? We've been having the same problems for 12 years. So now it's all of a sudden, that's called being late to the party. I'm serious about this. If they don't elect the right person, just like I said last year at the forum in the West End, if you don't elect the right person, problems are coming to your neighborhood. 4 hours later, that's when the beloved aunt was murdered in the West End. And I'm speaking it now. If you don't elect the right person again, we're going to have more problems, more severe problems. And that's just the truth, because if you put the wrong person at the hand of this wheel, this car is going out of control, we're going to crash.
Well, Gary, you know that Beaumont mayor structure. I mean, not mayor structure. City council structure it's a little different. It's run by the city manager,
City
and
council manager.
yeah, city council manager, and he managed the city. Now, I'm disappointed in his performance and
Mm-hmm.
what he's done because of the many years he's been in office in that position. We have not grown. We've been stagnant, and uh, would that be a not to show your game plan, but would that be an area that you would look hard at?
No, of course, no doubt. Yeah, he's a very vital piece of the equation with the production and the elevation of the city. I don't think I wouldn't. It's all about communication. It's all about how you talk to people. It's all about what you demand and what you expect. And that's just what it is. You have to have the fortitude to be able to hold people's hands to the fire. You have to hold them accountable. And that's just what it is. I want to see certain things. Let's discuss certain things, and we're gonna vote. And we're gonna hold you accountable. If it doesn't make sense, it's not gonna happen, and we're gonna talk about it. But that's like I don't want to reveal too much,
Right. I don't
but
want you to go too far.
right. But you have to actually have a conversation, have a good dialogue, communication, and with the city manager, because he does have some stroke. He does have he possesses a lot of power in that position. But I think that the right person in the mayor's seat will cause him to do a better job, and either resign or do a better job. That's just it. You know, we shouldn't be wanting to play with the lives of the citizens of Beaumont. That's
Right.
how
And
I look at it.
sometimes resignation is appropriate.
That's
You
right.
know, sometimes resignation is appropriate. Sometimes demotion is appropriate. Sometimes stepping down is appropriate when you realize that you're incapable of doing what the people are requiring and requesting. You need to do those things. That's appropriate sometimes.
That's right. That's right. And I mean, and actually, he wanted to retire. He wanted to resign. He asked. He said, I want to retire," and
And that,
they
oh,
swayed him
wait,
in with money, with a $3,000 raise a month. They swayed him in. Who wouldn't take that? You offer me 3,000 more dollars. Well, I wouldn't take it, but you offered the man $3,000 more a month, so he took it, and he's doing what he didn't want. He didn't want the job. He was tired. He was ready to go. So that in itself should tell you, you know, that he's ready to go. And on top of what everything that's been transpiring, you know, I just think he's ready to go. Because
well, you,
what has gotten better?
well, you know that um, you have it takes 4 votes to do
That's
anything.
right.
So not just you being a mayor, they need new changes and two faces of changes in the council as well. And,
Hmm.
and everybody's there has been there and that's sitting there that's gotten complacent. What area will you? I mean, not to give away your game plan again. I want to hold on to your game plan because I don't want nobody taking your plan and running with it. But if it's infrastructure big for you, if you win the mayor race,
Yes, yes, of course.
no,
We got it. We have to do that. You know, we have to get the you have to get your foundation established first. You
no,
can't build on top of the
right?
foundation.
Because
The foundation is
I,
cracked.
I hadn't seen no improvement in last year and a half, and I'm sorry everybody else has now, and it's gotten worse. The infrastructure has gotten worse, and we're taxpayers. We want results. We want to. I want to make you accountable. Even if you're mayor, I will also make you accountable as well.
Oh yeah, that's
You're
right.
not going to get a free pass, but I want you to understand, know that the people wants better,
Hmm.
and also we want it, but also we got to vote for it too.
That's
We
right.
got to get out and vote.
Hmm.
And one of the things we have to do, we've got to get our people out of the mentality of talking about it and getting up and doing something about it.
That's right. You got to vote. You got to be
We got to
registered.
vote.
Let me give you a quick. I'm gonna give you a little bit. Give you a little bit on the brown water. I've been taking notes. Like I said, I have a friend. I won't say where. He's not in Beaumont. Actually, two friends. 30 plus years in the water department. Both of them are supervisors, and a guy out here. Quick solution to brown water. Directional flushing plan that covers all the areas with the problems. That's how it was controlled in our past in Beaumont. Also, all repair areas were handled in a manner to get the brown water out of the pipes before it impacted a large number of people. Knowing which valves to open and which valves to close and which hydrants to flush is critical. Opening hydrants in the area of a repair isn't the answer. That sometimes pushes brown water to a different area that didn't even get repaired. It's a lot of planning, knowing the system and directional flushing involved. How you manage brown water is what prevents it from impacting citizens like we're experiencing today. There was even a study back in the day that would tell the age of the water in different parts of the city. But they did away with that because they said it was a waste of money. That was before 2015, before certain people were fired and before certain people were hired. It's sort of like a radiator flush, you know. But having the right people in the positions that know what they're doing with the hydrants, working with certain people, having the right. Well, we cut manpower in the city in the water department. We put more hours on them. We made them work harder, longer. We cut different plans. We wasn't cleaning the lift stations like we were normally doing. We cut corners and we started doing other things with the money. So people don't think that I know a lot. I know a lot about what happened and what should happen. But you can't just say too much, because people will say, well, how do you know all of that? You know, but it is, the people that know I know what I'm talking about. And what you need to do is actually have the right people in control, the right people in charge, and give the manpower that's needed for the water department, and give them their money, give them their money.
Gary, what do you think? How do you?
And it is what it is. We can't change what the actual situation is, but we can do something about making sure that we are abreast and what's going on. And that's something that we have not done because we're on the background, we're on the backside of things, and we don't know how to address things as it is what it is. We too busy worried about, oh well, okay, Gary, this has happened, that has happened with the water community, but we're just gonna pretend that leap years later that these are the situations.
That's right.
Oh, she went out on us. But Gary, let me ask, now. You know
That's
you're gonna
right.
have to work. You're gonna have 6 councilmen that you're gonna have to work with. Do you think that you can man with them and make things work a lot better than what we have received the last 12 years?
Yeah, of course. You can look at the actual council right now, man, and see that they're disgruntled, that they really don't like each other. Think about it. Okay, I'm Becky Ames right now. On my left, I have somebody at my at-large. Yeah, he sits on her left. Yeah. He's running for mayor. Okay. On my right, I have Mr. Getz. He's endorsing somebody else to take my spot. That's not a team. That's not a team, man. It's no cohesiveness. You know what I'm saying? That's not even, how do you even operate like that, knowing that my councilman on the left and on the right of me are trying to get me out, not trying to, but actually this one is going for my job and this one is endorsing somebody else for my job. But yet we have to be one accord. We have to, and you wonder why the city is divided.
And we can't get done. We can't get nothing started.
Can't get nothing done.
Going. Yeah.
Nothing done.
Well, it is a lot of friction, and I mean, of course, I'm gonna hold that question there for my Tuesday night guest, and it's going to be the current mayor of Beaumont, and I know she's had a lot to say, and we're going to give her that opportunity to do that. But also, Gary, I was watching the news this past week, and also online, and I noticed that the police department has 4 new recruits. Was it 4 or 5? I can't remember. 4 new recruits, and not one of them of color. What can you do, or what if you just become mayor of Beaumont? What would you, if you're elected mayor of Beaumont, what would you do to encourage more diverse to the police department that looks like the city of Beaumont's makeup?
I'm glad you asked that. That's a twofold question, and it's a 2-part question to answer. You know me, I'm gonna be accountable. I'm gonna check the races, and I'm gonna check yes when you're acting silly. My thing is this: we got to stop raising our kids just to play football and basketball. We need to start raising them to be scientists, lawyers, doctors, judges, senators, Republicans, Democrats. All of that, congressmen, policemen. That's on us.
People that can overall and ultimately speak on the behalf of other people that we don't ultimately get because they run for these offices and they do these different things and they represent us in different capacities, but they cannot speak on our behalf because we have not prepared them for that particular job.
That's right. And it's on us. We have to actually groom us. Instead of saying we hate the police, become one. Go join, become one. Go and join the police force. Balance it out. Stop complaining. Stop whining and groaning and moaning and griping. Start thinking solutions. Like I say, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. Become one. Join it. Balance it. Demand your respect. Say that, hey, I want to be a police officer. I want to be a fireman. And stop saying, well, it ain't no black people. It ain't no black. Go join. Go apply. You run. You fast.
And not only that, but also when you join and you apply, then you say, hey, I'm involved. I am a part of the people who feel this or that way, and I am their voice, and that I am they, opportunity to get some things handled what we don't ultimately have right now currently.
That's right. It helps. And what you see is what you become. It's all about perception. So that's why diversity is imperative to the growth of any city. You have to diversify. You have to have a diverse everything. And just like with me being in this position, just like President Barack Obama, you know how many little boys, it was said it would never be a black president. That was embedded in our souls. And once he became the president, it changed the psyche of almost the
Our
whole black
mind,
race.
right?
Yeah,
It changed our mind frame.
because you see it. What you see is what you become. You got two eyes on your head. That's what you visualize with. Whatever you see is what you become. So I think that'll help, but also it's like I said, it's on us too. We got to be accountable. We got to stop training people just to throw a football and dunk a basketball. There's other things that we can do as well. And like I said, if you're not actually trying to come up with solutions, you're just talking. You just mad. Okay, when you gonna get tired of being mad and come up with a plan? When you go try to be part of the solution? Go and apply. Keep your record clean. Don't go to jail. Don't be a felon. And go help your community. If you saying that it's a lot of guys that's getting hired that's from Lumberton or Port Natures or whatever. Well, we got what? It's 118,000 people in Beaumont, 53% African American. Go apply. Go apply for that job, man. And I see it. I'm on my profession. I see it. I see it. So, and it matters. It does matter.
And Gary, we need diversity in our industrial area because we are in a metrochemical market, and we have no other industry that we can diverse. Um, and I hope that you will work hard to bring different industrial here and diverse business here in the area. Now I'm gonna go to the viewership and the comments. Right now, there's that time, and again, Gary, I want you to please know that uh, we are behind you, supporting you, and we want you to have the best up front. But again, you're gonna have to have councilmen you're gonna have to work with that's gonna make this thing happen for the city of Beaumont. And we've got the potential. This city has potential. It's just not been worked on.
Okay, let me say, can I say this? Can I
Yeah.
interject this? I've worked with Mike Getz. You see, Mike Getz was with me with Dads on Deck. I've worked with Taylor Neal. I've worked with Alderman Samuels. WFA, if he loses, that spot is going to be up. You can go on my page and see that I spoke at Pastor Felshaw's church. I've worked with him. And Ms. Mouton, I haven't worked with her. I've worked with 6 of the 7. So I don't even, all we have to do is think and see. I've been doing the work. Let me run that list down again. I've worked with Taylor. I've worked with Getz. I've worked with Felshaw. I've worked with Samuels. Okay, so WFA is running. If he loses, that spot is going to be up for somebody else that I probably worked with that's running for that position. I've worked with most of all of them, because I'm the one doing the work in the community, and I've worked with them. I've had Mayor Ames call me after the Dads on Deck. Whatever you need, just let me know. You're doing a good job.
Well, that was one of my next questions on our current mayor, Becky Ames, and how's your relationship been with her since all the work that you're doing in the community? Has she reached out to you for things that you've done for the city?
I have no problem with anybody, man. I'm a people person. I'm a sociable person. I believe, if you don't like me, you don't have to like me, but we have to work together for a common goal. You don't have to like me, but we have to coexist to be better our community. So I don't ever force myself upon anybody or get my feelings hurt if you don't like me. You just might not like me, but we have to work together to get a common for the common goal. But she reached out to me after the first Dads on Deck event. She told me, I went to the city council. I left early. I went back the next Tuesday, and she stopped me and she told me, whatever you need, just let me know, and I'll be more than willing to, work with you.
Mhm. Hey, now, I was thinking about while you was talking. You and I was in the race in the city council race last election, and boy, we I learned a lot.
That's right.
That was an experience. And I'm thankful and I'm grateful for the experience and to learn more about the politics and how things are run and managed and how to run a campaign. And and we were all talking about it. And I got to ask this question, and this is a serious question I want to ask you. Did you learn anything from your last run?
Oh yeah, I learned a lot, a plethora of things. I learned. Uh, I'll tell you certain things that I learned. I learned that all your skin folk ain't your kinfolk. I also
No.
learned that uh, that politics is why we're in the situation we're in. And I also learned that, like, certain people that I used to look up to, I had it wrong. That's why I'm in this race, because I know my heart. And it's time to get those people out of the way,
They
because if
hold us
not,
back. They
it,
hold us back.
they holding us back. And people don't think, you got to see the sincerity of my heart, man. If not, the city will not thrive. We got to get these people out of the way,
You know,
and like I said, I learned that. I learned some more technical things, but I won't reveal them. You'll see them.
yeah.
You'll see them. You'll
And
see them.
I have this problem now that I'm behind the scene working and trying to initiate people in places and trying to make things happen for our community. And I have found out that there's a lot of people that's been on the stage too long.
That's right. That's
And
just.
it's time for them to come off the stage
Mhm.
and let this next generation, this next group come in and uh, become be more aggressive in what we're doing because you can stay so long and you become just there.
But also, brother Tony, and I learned that too. Just like I said, I'm accountable. It's twofold. It's the citizens. Get registered. Get off your behinds. Go vote. Get registered. Go vote. Take somebody with you to go vote. If you're sick and tired, go vote. You have the power. We have the numbers. Go and vote. For my Caucasians that really thought differently of me, you see what I'm doing now. Vote differently. Don't just vote because they're a member of your golf club buddy or country club or whatever. Vote differently now. You're being affected as well. Crime is in your neighborhoods now. Flooding is in your neighborhoods now. You're being affected now, just like the other parts of the city. It's time for change. It's time. And don't stop listening to what people say about me and come ask me. Listen to these interviews. Look me in my eyes. Feel my heart. Feel my words. I'm all about making Beaumont a powerhouse so we all can have fun. So we all can be proud to say that I'm from Beaumont. So that we all can thrive. That's what I'm about. No politician over here. no crookedness over here, no corruption over here. I'm all about safe, clean, fun. That's it.
All right, let's go. Let's go to the comment board right there, Gary. You have anything to say? You'd like to say, Miss Sherwood? Your mic is your mic is muted.
Oh, my mic is muted. I just didn't want to be. But I just like to say this. I think that Gary has given us a look into his heart, a look into his aspirations, a look into his mindset, and different things that sometimes people don't oftentimes get a look into. That's why we're here. That's why knowledge and power exists. It's so candidates can come on and explain to us how they feel, why they feel the way that they feel, what they anticipate doing, what they anticipate doing, and why do they anticipate doing what they're doing, and different things. And I feel like I hope that we have given him a platform to leverage his ideology, to leverage his overall anthropology about uh, you know uh, the way things that should be ran in Beaumont, and we're here for that. I want to make sure that overall, as a group, we're extending him the courtesy, the courage, the overall exponential ideology to just say what you want and what you think, what you feel, and how you believe. That we're letting you do that without getting involved. I'm super excited that Gary came on and extended his time to this particular group, and I'm super excited about us for allowing a forum where you can say what you want and do what you want and mean what you want, and we don't interpretate on any of that. We just let you be who you are.
Gary, you,
Yep.
boy, I tell you, she get long winded at times.
So she's excited, man.
Yeah, I
She's
know I am.
excited. I like that.
And I
That's
do
what's
this
up.
twice a week, and every week I get here. I say, Lord, just bless this bless this platform so that we can be a blessing to other people. And
That's right.
I want to have you on here and everyone else that's want to express themselves about who they are. You can say what you want to say. You can do the things that we have not able to do. So this is a place where we can communicate and we can educate our community. And I wanted people to know who you really were and who you are today. Was I know you
And how you feel.
how you feel. You got the feeling. Your heart is feeling all over Beaumont.
That's right. All
And
over Beaumont.
yeah,
All
all
over.
over Beaumont. It's not just one group. It's
No,
all over
no.
Beaumont. The people
All
of
over.
Beaumont. And
And this is my last thing I'm gonna say. I
no, it's
said this
not.
on the other show.
No, it's not.
Okay, this is I'm done. You got a four-cylinder car. You have a four-cylinder car. If two of the cylinders are not operating on their maximum potential, that car is not going to operate on its full potential, and it's
Right.
going to overload the two other cylinders. So to get the maximum potential of that car, you must get all four cylinders clicking on all cylinders. So that's I'm gonna just speak that, throw that parable out there, for the world, for Beaumont, and y'all can chew on that.
Yeah,
That's some.
I'm so excited about that. This is why I suggest that here's the best thing. We want to make sure that people are operating under the best capacity that they could possibly be operating under.
That's right.
And for me, myself, that I'm giving you the best possible opportunity as a democratic Black sister, that I'm making sure that you get everything that you need to get said, because I'm here for you, brother.
I
I
appreciate
represent you.
I appreciate it. I
Hey,
appreciate
Gary,
it.
I've got a couple of comments. I'm running a little late, but I've got a couple of comments I want to kind of share with you from the audience, and I don't want them to feel like they're not their
Not
voice is
heard.
not heard. And so you don't mind answering just a few questions. We're gonna make them short. Just don't talk, don't overdo it, but just kind of get to the
Short and
point
sweet.
so they can
Short and
short
sweet.
and sweet. Miss Charlotte Wilson is asking, what are your plans to improve race relations in Beaumont?
I, I think I've proven that. With Dads on Deck, it was a diverse group. Stop the Violence, it was a diverse group. When I was at the People in the Pines, it was a diverse group. My thing is discussion. Conversation rules the nation. You have to actually discuss things, have an open dialogue with people, and forums. I actually spoke about this. I think the other podcast. I like to have dialogues, uh, not debate, but dialogue.
Dialogue.
Open forum, and let's have discussions, just like what we're doing right now. I think we should have a diverse forum. And questions, let them add. If they want questions, ask, send them out and let's ask. But we have to talk because I've spoken to a lot of my Caucasian sisters and brothers that had questions that they didn't know. They would just perceive questions, answers. And once they asked me the question and we got to having a dialogue, they say, wow, I didn't even think of it like that. I didn't know. It's a miscommunication. Every time when you have a problem with it's normally boils down to miscommunication. You thinking one thing and the other person is thinking another. But when you talk, either you're gonna agree to disagree or you're gonna agree on it. But you actually talked about it. And now you see that I'm just like you just like me. And that's what it's about. It's a disconnect. And I believe I'm the bridge to read those facts.
Terry Roy want to know is it time to hold the city and the DD6 accountable? He's saying to the fire when it comes to the flooding. I don't understand it, but anyway, he wants. I guess he's saying, are we going to do anything about the flooding in the city?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the dam and all that, the ones in
Yeah.
they built and Pine Island, the bayou, and it's just that's we have to sit down and talk about that. We'll talk about that later.
And my cousin from Silsby is asking.
Me and Terry talk about that all the time.
Yeah, Beaumont all over this platform. You know, knowledge is power, cousin. We lack of power. We lack people lack from power without knowledge. So that is important, and I like to keep this spread all over the platform and all over the social media. People, you can find me on. I don't know. People, you can find me.
Mute your phone, LaDonna.
I'm able to mute her phone because she's doing something with the kid. There we go. we can you can find me Knowledge is Power on Facebook, on the Facebook page, and like the like button and join us. And every day there's going to be new articles on Black history, health, Black wealth, all types of topics that's gonna educate you on life, so financial and all that good stuff. So please join me on my Facebook Live page on Knowledge is Power Podcast Live, and you can find me on YouTube. So subscribe on that little red, click that little red subscribe button and subscribe to me on YouTube. You can come back and watch any shows that we've broadcast on Facebook and YouTube from the beginning to currently. And
you
again,
got another question? No other question?
Now hold on, let me finish my ad. Hold on, we'll get back to you. I got a lot of business going on. Again, people, on Tuesday, that's day after tomorrow, we're gonna have the current mayor, Becky Ames, on. And we're going to have an hour of roundtable talk with the mayor of Beaumont, Texas, right now. She is currently the mayor, and she has not made an announcement that she's going to run. So we're going to do this thing as the current mayor of Beaumont, Texas. And on Sunday, coming, we're going to have the Jefferson County candidates that's running for the general election in November. We're going to have those people on as well. And I hope you join us in. And oh, wait a minute! I'm gonna have a tribute on the 30th of this month. The last Sunday this month is a tribute to Willie K. Knighton,
Mm.
KJ radio station, along with memories of Bob
KJ.
and Cal Weaver and all those guys that was there before. But they were the original guys, and I wanted to do this because Willie and I are the last two living uh, employee jocks that was there. So we're gonna have a tribute to Willie K because he's the oldest and the last living, and we're gonna do that on Sunday on the 30th of August, a tribute to KJ Radio. And let's see here, Gary. I know what you got. You've got ahead of you. I know you've got the support of the community. You've got my support, and we just want you to get out there and do what you do,
Yes,
and it will work. It will work out.
yes, sir.
And again, you remember this is going to be a little different race this time. We got already three. You got three hitters right there, and now and maybe another one. So
Yeah,
I know that it's going to be all right.
that's right.
Right. And we've got to vote, people. We've got to vote the
Gotta
November election. We've got to get the man out of the White House. We got to get that. We got to make a change here. So, Gary, with last words before we go, what do you like to tell us?
I would like just to say, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. Uh, I hope I answered a lot of questions. That if you didn't know who I was, if you had any questions, or if you had any concerns, or if you were skeptical, about my mindset, my motive about why I was running for mayor. I hope that I covered it all, and I hope that you just give me a shot. Just give me a chance. Just give me an opportunity. You know, and I do my best, and let's make this happen. That's it. Let's
I
just give me
appreciate
a
you,
shot.
Gary, and thank you for joining me on Knowledge is Power
Thank
podcast
you for
live.
having me.
Yeah,
And
and
I would like to also just second and incorporate that Geary Senigaur is giving you guys an opportunity to have a look into his life where other people are not. He's giving you a platform and a place to say and see different things that other people are not. So we're not just asking for your vote, we asking for you to look into the regular everyday opportunity life of what we got going on and see who he is and what he represents. And we are super excited about that. And we are supporting Geary Senigaur for the mayor of Beaumont, Texas. And get out there and vote. And do not let your vote be understood or miscounted. Make sure that you are who you say you are. And we are super excited about that.
That's right. Appreciate you, LaDonna. Appreciate it.
all
Appreciate it.
right, hey
Appreciate it.
Gary, keep doing what you're doing, man. Stay on the grind. We got a ways to go, but we're gonna get there.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All
Yes,
right,
sir.
all right, everybody. Thank you again for joining me on the Knowledge is Power podcast live. It has been great having the candidate for mayor of Beaumont, Texas, Geary Senigaur, with us this evening. Thank you, everybody.